How's everyone going tonight? Hello, this is Nick, and we're back tonight to do some modeling and some sketching in 3D code. So you've seen us do modeling for for the game levels that we have in our game called Soul 3000, and you could check the game out on Steam or on itch.io, and you could follow us here on YouTube or on Twitch. And yeah, so what we have been doing so far with the game is that we've been my brother Peter he is the programmer, he's the lead programmer on the game, and he's trying to update the current system that we have in the old Blender game engine to a better system in the new Blender game engine called UpBGE. And I have all the levels laid out. Just from like a top-down view, and I have some concept art, that kind of inspirational concept art, I gathered. Some I drew, and and some I just looked online, for different ideas, like through pictures or through other concept arts and different things like that. And I'm not copying directly, but it's giving me good inspiration for trying to make something original. So what I'm on tonight, for a reason. I was thinking that maybe I have 2 more levels to kind of flesh out. The game only has 5 levels. I have 2 of those that I still need to kind of completely flesh out. Level 4 and level 5. Right? The second to last level and the last level. And I was thinking, you know what? 3D code, people like to use 3D code for concepting and sketching, for roughing out 3D stuff, so you don't really have to think about topology too much. I like doing that stuff in Blender because I'm really familiar with Blender. I'm even very familiar with 3D Studio Max. I could even do it in Maya, different things like that, but I'm working on a Linux system, and I try to patronize software that's on Linux, like Blender is on Linux, 3D Code is on Linux, and much more other like video editing and editing softwares like the GIMP, and even DaVinci Resolve is on Linux and all that. So I like the way Linux is. It's not tied down like Windows or Mac or anything like that. It's a little more open, and open is good. So without further ado, we don't have to wait for the countdown that you see on the screen. I'll just jump right in. If you're watching right now, hit me a hello in the chat. If not, it's all good. We're not gonna do any more recording of these sessions. So if you're gonna want to get the session, actually this is not gonna be recorded. So if you're hearing me out there, this is, you're gonna have to catch the sessions as they pop up live. So if you want to know when they pop up live, just subscribe to us on YouTube and subscribe to us on Twitch. So Twitch TV. So without further ado, let's just jump right in and just get some sketching going. I'll break on my concept art. I can't show you the little art, the inspirational images and concept arts that I'm using for ideas, because I don't want to. Some of them are just photos I collected online and drawings I collected online, and some of them are what I sketched and drew. And I just figure, I just don't want to get in anything with copyrights or anything like that. So I'm just gonna watch them, because you could go online and you can just watch stuff, right? So I'm just gonna watch them, and you'll just see me create the new stuff, in 3D Code or in Blender or wherever, or in the GIMP or wherever we're doing this stuff. Okay, so that's enough jabbering. According to my brothers, I jabber a lot. So let's just jump in and start doing some cool stuff right now. So I'm just gonna grab up some of my inspirational stuff here before we jump into the actual streaming here. Okay. Okay, here we go. 3. So what we're gonna do is level 4 and 5, kind of a big SWAT and a big sketch. Okay, here we go. Alright, here we are in 3D code. Yeah, everything's a little slow because I'm streaming on 2 platforms, so I'm gonna try to see what I can do to help with that. Still a little bit slow. So I can bring up my system monitor. Okay, I killed some things that was running in my system. Alright guys, so we're definitely in 3D code here. We're going to get started. I'm just trying to make my computer a little bit quicker. Alright, let's see. Let's start 3D code over again. See that it's a little bit quicker. Okay, that feels a lot faster. Okay, let's go. So we just jump into voxel sculpting here, and I'm just gonna start with a box, and let's see what let's reset size. Let's do the size of this plane right here. So I'm gonna do it like that thick. I'm just gonna squeegee it out right here like so. Just make it a little thinner. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do right here. Just add that. So obviously it's gonna take a little bit because I think I just made a big voxel sculpture. A huge voxel sculpture. Okay, pulled through. Okay, I'm looking at some of my concept art here. Let's see how we're gonna start. We're gonna start with like some terrain. Okay, I'm looking at that. Let's go into that quick pick right there. Okay, seems fine so far. Let's see if, what kind of shaders we got on this thing. Let's go with like the very red shader. Alright, let's go. Okay. So I happen to know that this is split somewhat in two. Let's do that. Let's split this. Actually, let's not split it as yet. Let's hack the space up into the way that we need it. I'm just gonna do a cutoff. I'm gonna select this tool right here, and I'm just gonna cut it like probably like halfway, like so, a little bit along there. and I'm gonna go ways like that. Let's do that. It's gonna perfect top view. I don't think that top view we did earlier was that perfect. Okay, I think the level we should enter here and then go this way. So I'm just gonna make a line. Let's do some carve, and let's can we invert carve? Carve, conform, on plane, steady. You see, it doesn't have an invert for carve. So let's go down. Vox clay. Yeah, there's an invert for that one. Yeah, invert vox clay. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna break them out, wake them. Let's see how responsive this thing is. Oh, I have a line on here. Huh. She made a cut in there. Fox clay. Okay, it went back to the regular Fox clay tool. Let's undo that. And let's just delete this. Wow. Let's select the. Okay, let's go back to the brush. Yeah, I just wanted a brush, but we're just gonna wing it, right, guys? So that's the separation for the levels. So I think there's a, let's see what I have here in the layout. Okay. Vox layer. I'm gonna optimize this mesh. Right, to do so you need to pull out some commands, right? So you put a command and you go resample. I'm gonna go, I think smooth does the best result. I'm just gonna make it a little bit lower. It's a little too low, probably like 0.6. Press OK and have it resample that. It's resampling. Okay, let's operate a little bit quicker. My Vox tool, turn off steady stroke. For some reason, steady stroke is always on. And let's see what we have here. You don't need these. You need like different brushes, right? So I'm gonna figure out where the corrector. So the corrector is probably gonna start right here. Actually, right here you should start. And instead, I'm gonna take everything. Actually, it doesn't start there. It starts a little bit. I need to get my map going here. I need to sketch the map out first. Let's do that. Okay, so that's a river. I'm trying to figure out what I'm seeing here, guys. Okay, so I know there's a river flowing. Okay, and it opens out into. Okay, I see. Okay. Let's do that. So we're gonna invert the tool and scrape a river in. I like square brushes. Let's try that. Oh, how did I get over there? Okay, hold on there, guys. Gotta fix something here. Sometimes 3D Code does this. Let's go Windows. Set panel layout to default. Okay. I think it even reset my Okay, we're gonna have to do this over. Let's try that again. Good thing we did not save. Sculpt. Okay. It actually got rid of my my tool section. Oh boy. Yeah, it basically reset my let's go here. We set this to default. We set all pages to default. Store this page layout. Store workspace. Restore workspace. You know what? It doesn't matter, guys. Let's just continue. The only annoying part is I'm gonna have to hunt for all the tools I had. But it's all good. It was my bad, I didn't save. Okay. Okay, last time we made this really big, we're not gonna do that. Just gonna make it big enough, like about so. Okay. some shaders. So yeah, quick pick. What I was trying to do before, I was trying to make this a little bit slimmer. That's what happened. Okay, back on track. And we actually cut. We actually cut some of that off like so. Turn this lazy. So now I'll make this a little bit bigger. Just start digging in a little bit of a river, which is what I wanted to do at the beginning. I think I'd do something like flowing off like so. Right, and then it goes off into like not really much of a river. The same thing here. Kind of makes like a floodplain almost. Let's see what we got here. Let's do this. So this is just sketching, guys. I'm not making anything in particular. I'm just sketching out like a level that I have an idea for. I go. Let's see. Red shade is cool. Let's go like basic white. White is really blinding. This is what I have in my shader pack here. White. This is not bad. I think we could work with this. Trying to think about, like, you know, rivers erode, you know, round things out. create something kind of like that. Let's check back here. Okay, I think I have the basic river plugin, you know. One thing I'm learning is that sometimes it's better to keep things as simple as you can and just add the complexity on top if you could. Let's do that. Scoop out a little pool. So what really helped me with working in 3D code was the fact that a lot of people said that 3D, like working in 3D code is supposed to be kind of like if like you're sculpting like clay and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, you know, let me try to approach it from that aspect. So I'm not a clay sculptor by any means. So what I did, I went online on YouTube. I looked up different people who actually do clay sculpting, and it's pretty interesting, you know. I mean, there's a lot of like talented artists out there who do really good work with sculpting in clay. See right there, I made a hole through there. So what I'm gonna do, you could fill it with carve, or you could use this fill tool. It's also effective. Oh, needs a little bit more fill action. There we go. Let's make it a little bit. Yes. Oh, okay. It's really sensitive. Is there a steady stroke on this? No. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just drop some carve in that. There you go. When all else fails, use carve. Okay. Scoop that down again. Yeah, so I watched there's a lot of like cool people on YouTube. I don't remember any of their names off the top of my head right now, but this one guy did a Hulk, right? And the Hulk, you know, he improved his sculpting skills and the Hulk looked really good. But then he did like a Venom suit overtaking the Hulk, and that looked pretty cool, you know. I mean, like it, you know, it took a lot of skill. And I watched how they think about things. You know, they kind of approach things with kind of like how I used to approach art when I was younger. You kind of just do something once and you move on, and it's pretty interesting to do like that. And I think like when you do things like that, it's kind of cool because it gives you a second to really think about. This goes out into like a floodplain here. It gives you a second to really think about like you know, how it's supposed to work. You know, the techniques that you're using, or you know, it gives you a moment to think about the techniques that you're using. So, okay, so let's go through here. So, I'm supposed to have some mountains here. So I'm going to use this carve because it's pretty quick. So let's go carve, and it's rough, so I like that. Let's drop some carve on here, just like make some kind of mountainous places. And you can also make canyons and stuff too, but I'll just do some quick carved mountains. Let's just make this a little bit bigger so it's not so fussy. And you'll notice I'm just kind of going top view for now. You know, in that whole idea of keeping things as simple as possible. Let's see. What did I have? I'm looking at my drawing. I'm not even looking at the concept art that I have that I for inspiration as yet. I'm just looking at my personal sketches for the layout of the level and stuff like that. I think once you get a little more detail, I'll look at those drawings to see if I could incorporate some aspect of what I thought was cool in here. If you're down here, let's rotate. If you're down here, ooh, look at that. If you're down here, you wanna, you know what's on either side. It shouldn't just be like an infinite void. Just cut this off like so. Let's do something like this. So there's a flow there. I'm trying to think more about this. So the guy is gonna start like somewhere out here. Let's do something like this. Just yeah. Actually, I'm not thinking about the height of things. I'm just trying to knock down, you know, some boundaries. This carve is pretty quick. I like it. Okay, so it have like an artificial boundary here. Let's do something like let's go like, you know, he walks here, he crosses this way, and he comes this way. Let's do a sheer cliff right along the edge of that lakey thing right here. You know. So I'm trying to knock out 2 levels actually with 1 stone. This should be kind of like a basin. Everything is kind of closed in here because this base is supposed to be like a secret. The level is in a secret base, and yeah. I think I want a piece mountainous kind of rock. If you cross here, you cannot cross here, and then this should divide you. This right here should divide, should have something like dividing. Oh, a little too close to the edge there. So good. I think that's the next thing about sculptors. They just like, I'm using carve to like chop back in there. What I'm gonna do, turn the carve down a bit. It's a little bit powerful for brush. Pretty quick. Ooh, it punched a hole right through there. So I'm gonna add some more carve on top of there. So this, I think this actually lends to like having varied topology. What if I do something like this? Then the river turns in here. It kind of disappears. Okay, let's zoom out a bit. Yeah, we gotta establish that that this is turning in here. Some mountains here. Just grab. Oh, show some carve down there. Okay, so if you cross here, no, there should be a sheer cliff here. I'm sorry, guys. Yep. A little bit of a mountain range. Let's build that up. So you go like so, come so. So here should be all mounted up where you cannot pass. What did we have before? We had a clay brush and we was using that to scrape into stuff, right? Voxel clay and it's inverted. I think that's a little better for scraping in. It's probably a little bit softer. If I invert that, it should build up. It should actually add clay. Yeah, let's just use that to scrape back out some clay. Yeah, so if you're joining us, what we're doing right now, we're actually creating like a rough draft of like 2 levels, that the final 2 levels I gotta do for a game that I'm working on called Soul 3000. And yeah, so far so good. I think this might work better this way. Might make more sense. Okay, let's try to do this in 3D now. Ooh, look at that. That's interesting. Supposed to be an interesting landscape anyway. So I gotta make some more mountains in the background. Just kind of make up, because you know, it's looking like really closed up like that. It's not looking very cinematic, you know, and open. Let's go to the Vox clay, see if we can get to scrape some of this clay off. You know, they actually have a scrape tool. Let's see how that works. Let's see if we can scrape some stuff off. Okay, not too bad. I'm gonna go back to my Vox clay, my carve. Let's just add some carve here. Okay, we can always deal with like the height of things later. Let's go with our scrape tool. Let's see what. Start scraping some things down. Now, before I never liked the behavior of these brushes, but after watching how sculptors actually do, I think this is pretty close to what a sculptor would do. At least that's what I think. Just judging from some of the YouTube videos that I've watched. That's my script. That's my carve. Instead of liking what the Vox clay is doing a little bit better at scraping away. I don't want to get too much caught up in the weeds because a lot of this could look a lot different. The important thing is that we have what we wanted, which was this river carving in some places blocked out. Blocking out might be a little bit aggressive, I'm thinking. You know, where we could just continuously work on things. So now might be a good time where I could look at some of my concept art to see if what I'm doing even remotely resembles any of that. I just basically looked at the basic map layout and just started to kind of sculpt this landscape a little bit here. Yeah, just gotta like kind of. You know, I should have you, you know, this is good. Have you kind of stepping out into some water right here. I'm not gonna, come on Nick, I gotta stop this. I think I'm getting a little bit too fussy with how things are right now, so I'm just gonna stop right here. Okay, so let's see, so we saw that. Let's make sure that this canyon is clearly seen. I'm just gonna keep carving it. Keep on cutting away here. Okay, let's try to drop a different shader on this. I like the shader because it actually shows you like the edges a little bit. Oh, this one is a little bit nicer. Let's go. Let's try another shader. Let's try that zebra shader. I just call it that because I don't think it's actually a zebra shader. Just looks kind of red like what the zebra red clear red is. Okay. Yeah, and this probably is flowing from one of those waste pipes I have in the beginning. Okay, I'm gonna try something a little bit weird. I'm gonna try to separate these mountain pieces away from the terrain part there. It mightn't actually work out that well for me, but let's give it a shot. Before we do that, let's save. You haven't saved. Oh, look at this one. Okay, let's try to separate the mountains from the bottom part here. So what I'm gonna do is just cutting it off. Okay, here we go. And let's just make this orthographic. Let's go with this over here. Alright, so I'm going to use the split tool. So we have split right here. You want to tune this off. Let's take a good look. And let's. Oh, and we actually want this right here. We want to do it in an instant. We're gonna split right down here. It's working. It's a lot to split. Let's see what we got. Ooh, look like we got like some of the rivers, but we didn't get like the tops. But that's pretty interesting. Let's try this again. Let's undo it. Let's try that again. Go a little bit higher, we're a little bit low. A little bit higher. Okay, let's see what that gives us. Okay, here we go. We definitely cut away, kind of like leveled the playing field there. So what else allows us to do? Let's separate this. Let's see which ones are the mountains. Okay, this is the ground. This is the terrain. And this is mountains. See if we can hide the. That's the terrain. This is mountains. There we go. That gives us a good view of the terrain without the mountains. That's pretty interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's looking pretty interesting. So now I'm thinking I'm gonna look at some of my concept art here and see if we could get like some of the interesting things blocked in here. Okay, I think we kind of more or less have stuff like this going on that I'm seeing in the concept art. Okay, in concept art there's a lot of like little lumpies and all that, so I could choose out part of. I think I could do that right here. So let's just do that to the mountains. Let's come in here, and I think a good tool, a good brush for that would be the grow tool to get some lumpies.
Laying aside all malice and all guile and hypocrisies and envies and all evil speakings, as newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. If so be ye have tasted that the Lord is gracious, to whom coming as unto a living stone, disallowed indeed of men, but chosen of God and precious,
Okay.
ye also, as lively stones, are built up a spiritual house, and holy priesthood, to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to God by Jesus Christ. Wherefore also it is contained in the Scripture, Behold, I lay in Sion a chief cornerstone, elect, precious, and he that believeth on him shall not be confounded. Unto you therefore which believe he is precious, but unto them which be disobedient, the stone which the builders disallowed, the same is made the head of the corner.
Let's
A
try.
stone of stumbling and a rock of offense,
It's
even
really
to them which
soft.
stumble at the word, being disobedient, whereunto also they were appointed. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should shew forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous light, which in time past were not a people, but are now the people of God, which had not obtained mercy, but now have obtained mercy. Dearly beloved, I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lusts, which war against the soul, having your conversation honest among the Gentiles, that whereas they speak against you as evildoers, they may, by your good works, which they shall behold, glorify God in the day of visitation. Submit yourselves to every ordinance of man for the Lord's sake, whether it be the king, as supreme, or unto governors, as unto them that are sent by him, for the punishment of evildoers, and for the praise of them that do well. For so is the will of God, that with well-doing ye may put to silence the ignorance of foolish men, as free, and not using your liberty for a cloak of maliciousness, but as the servants of God. Honor all men, love the brotherhood, fear God, honor the king. Servants, be subject to your masters with all fear, not only to the good and gentle, but also to the froward. For this is thankworthy, if a man for conscience toward God endure grief, suffering wrongfully. For what glory is it, if when ye be buffeted for your faults, ye shall take it patiently? But if when ye do well, and suffer for it, ye take it patiently, this is acceptable with God. For even hereunto were ye called, because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example, that ye should follow his steps, who did no sin, neither was guile found in his mouth, who when he was reviled, reviled not again. When he suffered, he threatened not, but committed himself to him that judgeth righteously, who his own self bare our sins in his own body on the tree, that we, being dead to sins, should live unto righteousness, by whose stripes ye were healed. For ye were as sheep going astray, but are now returned unto the shepherd and bishop of your souls.
Let's see.
when they were escaped, then they knew that the island was called Melita. And the barbarous people shewed us no little kindness, for they kindled a fire, and received us every one, because of the present rain, and because of the cold. And when Paul had gathered a bundle of sticks, and laid them on the fire, there came a viper out of the heat, and fastened on his hand. And when the barbarians saw the venomous beast hang on his hand, they said among themselves, No doubt this man is a murderer, whom, though he hath escaped the sea, yet vengeance suffereth not to live. And he shook off the beast into the fire, and felt no harm. Howbeit they looked when he should have swollen, or fallen down dead suddenly. But after they had looked a great while, and saw no harm come to him, they changed their minds, and said that he was a god. In the same quarters were possessions of the chief man of the island, whose name was Publius, who received us, and lodged us 3 days courteously. And it came to pass that the father of Publius lay sick of a fever and of a bloody flux, to whom Paul entered in, and prayed, and laid his hands on him, and healed him. So when this was done, others also which had diseases in the island came and were healed, who also honored us with many honors. And when we departed, they laded us with such things as were necessary. And after 3 months we departed in a ship of Alexandria, which had wintered in the isle, whose
Okay,
name was Castor and Pollux.
so
And landing at
that's what I got,
we
guys.
tarried there 3 days. And from thence we fetched a
Just
compass, and came
take a
to
look at these
Arabia.
mountains.
And after 1 day the south wind blew, and we came the next
I
day
think
to
this looks pretty
Antioch,
cool.
where we found brethren, and were desired to tarry with them 7
Oh,
days.
that looks like a little bit of
So we
squares
went
right there.
And from thence, when the brethren
I'll try
heard of
this
us,
fill tool on
they
top
came
of that
again
and
to
see
the
what
house
happens.
Ampii Forum, and
Yeah,
three
the
taberns,
fill tool's kind of almost
wherein
like
saw
a
he
flood
thanked
tool.
God
It just
for
kind of
courage. And when we came to
gets rid
Rome,
of
the
those
centurion
shapes.
delivered the prisoners to
But
the
it's
captain
fine.
of the guard. But Paul was suffered to dwell by himself with a soldier that kept him. And it came to pass that after 3 days Paul called the chief of the Jews together. And when they were come together, he
Okay,
said unto them,
so this is
Men and brethren,
recreating
though I
like a
have committed
basic
nothing
kind of
against the
thing
people or
here
customs of our
with 3D
fathers,
code.
yet was I delivered prisoner from Jerusalem into the
I was
hands of
thinking to do
Romans,
some more roughing out,
who,
but I
when they
don't
had
know if I
examined
might
me,
call that a
would
night.
have
I
let
mean,
me
it's pretty
go,
late right
because there
now.
was no cause of death in
Let's
me.
see.
But when the
Let's
Jews
see.
spake
Let's see.
against it, I
Let's
was
see.
constrained to appeal unto Caesar, not that I had aught to
Okay.
accuse my nation of. For this cause therefore have I called for you, to see you, and to speak with you, because that for the hope of Israel I am bound with this chain. And they said unto him, We neither received letters out of Judea concerning thee, neither any of the brethren that came shewed or spake any harm of thee. But we desire to hear of thee what thou thinkest. For as concerning this sect we know that everywhere it is spoken against. And when they had appointed him a day, there came many to him into his
Okay. Let's
lodging,
take a
to whom he
clear
expounded and
look here.
testified
So
the
we
kingdom
got
of
this
God,
right here.
persuading them concerning Jesus, both out of the law of Moses and out of the prophets, from morning till evening.
You know, we could do
Do
some
not
more
believe the
work
things
on
which were
this.
spoken,
I think
lest some may decline.
technically, like,
When they agreed not among themselves,
maybe you
they
could do it
departed.
like a
And
grow
that
or run
Paul
it
had spoken
along.
one
Oh,
word,
not along
well
that
spake the
edge.
Holy Ghost by
You
Isaiah
wanna
the
kind of
prophet unto our
hide.
fathers, saying, Go unto this people,
Uh,
and say,
you
Hearing
wanna,
ye shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall
oh
see, and
no,
not perceive. For the heart of
let's
this
undo
people is
that.
waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing,
There we go.
and their eyes have they closed,
Dun, dun,
lest they
dun.
should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and
Just
should
wanna
be
kind of
converted,
flood the
and I
edges
should
there.
heal them. Be it known therefore unto you, that the salvation of God is sent unto the Gentiles, and that they
Let's
will
see
hear
what that
of
looks
it.
like. Yeah, it's looking
At
pretty
these
good.
words, the Jews departed, and had great reasoning among themselves.
Okay, what do you guys see in here?
Paul
This
dwelt 2 or 3
the
years
talking there.
in
That's the
Athens,
Bible.
and received all that
So I
came
listen to
unto
the
him,
Bible.
preaching the kingdom of God,
You
and
know,
teaching those
a lot
things
of
which
times
pertain to
when I actually do
holiness,
my actual work,
with all confidence,
like
no man forbidding
at
him.
my job, I mostly listen to the
And
Bible.
I heard a great voice out of the temple, saying to the 7 angels, Go your ways, and pour out the vials of the
You know, I
wrath of
rarely
God
ever
upon the earth.
listen to music like
And the
that
first went
sometimes.
and
I
poured
used to
out
listen
his
to a
vial
lot of
upon the
music, but
earth. And there fell
sometimes
a
music
noisome and
could be
grievous sword
distracting.
upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. The
Hmm.
second angel poured out his vial upon the sea, and it became as the blood of a dead man, and every living soul died in the sea. And the third angel poured out his vial upon the rivers and fountains of waters, and they became blood. And I heard the angel of the waters say, Thou art righteous, O Lord, which art, and wast, and shalt be, because thou hast judged thus. For they have shed the blood of saints and prophets, and thou hast given them blood to drink, for they are worthy. And I heard another out of the altar say, Even so, Lord God Almighty, true and righteous are thy judgments. And the fourth angel poured out his vial upon the sun, and power was given unto him to scorch men with fire. And men were scorched with great heat, and blasphemed the name of God, which hath power over these plagues, and they repented not to give him glory. And the fifth angel poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast.
I think this is Revelation, so this is like the last days of this earth that we know right now.
And blasphemed the God of heaven because of their pains and their sores, and repented not of their deeds.
One of the reasons why
poured out his vial upon the great
God talks about this is to warn
the
us,
water thereof was dried up,
that we should conduct ourselves, in a holy fashion,
and I saw three unclean spirits,
and that we should
frogs, come out
live
of the
for
mouth
Him
of the dragon,
and love one another.
and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. For they are the spirits of devils, working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world, to gather them to the battle of that great day of God Almighty. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth, and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked, and they see his shame. And he gathered them together into a place called, in the Hebrew tongue, Armageddon. And the seventh angel poured out his vial into the air. And there came a great voice out of the temple of heaven from the throne, saying, It is done. And there were voices and thunders and lightnings. And there was a great earthquake, such as was not since men were upon the earth, so mighty an earthquake, and so great. And the great city was divided into three parts, and the cities of the nations fell. And great Babylon came in remembrance before God, to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. And every island fled away, and the mountains were not found. And there fell
Okay,
upon
let's take a
men
look at this,
great
guys.
hail out of heaven, every stone about the weight of a talent.
I think that's
Men
pretty cool for
blasphemed
now.
God
You
because
don't
of
have
the
to get
plague
too
of the
crazy
hail,
about it.
for the plague thereof was exceeding great.
It's kind of like a layout.
And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous.
Let's kind of
Seven
zoom in
angels
and like go
having the
down to
seven
like a
last
ground
plagues,
level.
for in them is filled up the wrath of God.
Yeah, it's really kind of
So
alien
as it
looking,
were the sea of glass
but
mingled with fire.
yeah, I could do
Them
some
that
more.
have
I could do
gotten
some
the
more work
victory
on
over the
this,
beast, and
and like
over his image
chop
and
down
over
this
his mark,
rock, and
and over
there's
the
a lot of
number of
stuff
his
that could
name,
happen.
stand on the sea of glass.
But yeah,
And
thanks
I saw
for
Babylon,
checking me out.
they
It's getting
sit
pretty
the seat
late.
of
I think
Moses
I'm
the
gonna
servant of
call
God,
that a night.
and the song of the
And
Lamb, saying,
you
Great
guys
and
enjoy
marvelous
yourself. Check
are
out
thy
3D
works,
Code. It's a
Lord
pretty
God
cool
Almighty.
program
Just
for
and true are
these
thy
kinds
ways,
of
thou King
quick
of saints. Who shall
sculpting
not
type
fear
deals.
thee, O Lord, and glorify thy
And
name?
yeah,
For thou only
you
art
guys have a
holy,
good night.
for all
God
nations
bless.
shall come and worship before
And
thee,
I'll
for
see
thy
you guys
judgments
later.
are made
Okay,
manifest.
stay cool.
After that I looked, and behold, the temple of the tabernacle of the testimony in heaven was opened. And the seven angels came out of the temple, having the seven plagues, clothed in pure and white linen, and having their breasts girded with golden girdles. One of the four beasts gave unto the seven angels 7 golden vials, full of the wrath of God, who liveth for ever and ever. The temple was filled with smoke from the glory of God, and from his power, and no man was able to enter into the temple, till the 7 plagues of the 7 angels were fulfilled.